how did my client go from looking like this to this? Unaware she was at near-death burnout, the first thing we had to do was get her to admit she was in trouble. Then we worked through the pattern intelligence framework to determine why she was in trouble, and being an immigrant from East Africa played a huge part in that. Let's unpack it. Hi, my name is Christy Rutherford, and if I get a snapshot of your childhood, I can pretty much predict with 98% accuracy of how you're showing up in every area of your life as an adult.
Working with over 300 leaders in 20 different countries and 17 nationalities within the U.S., everybody has a special kind of crazy. When people come to this country first gen and they're the first ones to get here, they have some patterns. And I'm going to unpack these patterns over time. When people grow up, the majority in their country, like I've talked to and worked with a lot of women from Nigeria who grow up in Nigeria and then come to the US to go to college, or they go to the UK, they have another kind of crazy. Women who are from the islands who come to the US have a special kind of crazy. White women have a special kind of crazy. African-American women, I mean, like, let's just run the gamut. So everybody has a special kind of crazy. But today we're going to be talking about the challenges of when you come to the US from a different country. So welcome, Regina. How are you today?
Oh, I'm wonderful, Christy. Thank you for having me. And I love that intro because it's so true, and it gives it an identity. Because I think a lot of times we're talking about assimilation. When you do come to the US, a lot of times you just find where you can fit in, and that's the identity you take on.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's unpack it. I can't wait. So one, thank you for being here. I couldn't wait. I was like, I got to get Regina's story before she forget, because y'all be forgetting. Y'all get healed, and I'm trying to transform the brethren, the sister, and y'all be like, I can't remember that part of my journey. So, Regina, what was going on when you reached out to work with us a couple of 2022, 2023? What was going on with you?
Chrissy, when I called you, I was at my wit's end. And when I called you, I remember our conversation, and you said you're at about 3%. You're going to flatline. And I knew that to be true, but I didn't know how could you possibly know that, because I was still, I still had that veneer. I was still trying to be, I'm a performance. So as a healthcare worker, you always want to come off stronger than maybe what you're feeling. So I was still doing that pretense thing. And so you saw right through it, and you said, you're about 3%. And that took me aback. I said, okay. So, but I'm looking for more money. I'm ready to move into my career. I'm ready for the next level. I've done all of these things in my career, and I'm ready, and I'm not getting it, and I don't understand why. And you said that, you could get folks 2 to 3 times more than what they were making. And so I'm here for that. And you said, oh no, we have to unpack some other things first before we get to that. We'll get that, but we need to unpack some things. So that's what happened when I came to Vision Finder. And, we started trying to peel back some of those layers. I was very resistant. It was tough because, as an immigrant, you just, become really tough. When I came, I was expected to really assimilate as quickly as possible. And in order to survive as a child, I was in grade school, just trying to survive school and teasing and all of those things. First thing I did was do whatever I could to make myself like the other people. I remember when I first came with my mom, she enrolled me in public school, and the teacher or the principal assumed that I didn't speak English, even though the country that I was coming from, Uganda, was a country that was an English-speaking country. But because of my heavy accent, she assumed I wasn't speaking English. And so she made the decision to actually hold me back, despite all of my other testing, hold me back a whole grade. And so I found myself in a situation where I was being held back, and that was devastating to me. So the message that I got was, well, I need to make sure that I do as much as possible to assimilate so that this doesn't happen to me again.
So let's back up. One, you came and I said that you was at 3%. Did I tell you that you was about to die, or did I just say your battery was at 3%?
You said I was about to die.
Oh, okay.
First you said 3%, then I responded with, well, but, and you said you're about to die.
Were you?
I was.
Okay.
I was severely depressed at the time, and I recognized it as a healthcare worker. I recognized that I wasn't going to be able to manage it myself. So when you said that, it was a little bit of a shock, but after I thought about it, yeah, there you go. I was. That's it.
So hold up. So here's what's hysterical about women, high achieving women, before we even get to like the why you're high achieving. Most high achievers, not just women, because men are included, most high achievers don't know that y'all are tired. I would say we, but you're like, because I used to be, Regina, about to die. I'm okay. No. I'm okay. And people are like, are you okay? Yes, I'm perfect. I just want some more money. So over the past 6 years, I have had to trick y'all. Like, so for high achievers, money, power, respect. Lil' Kim said it. We want more money, more power, more respect. I don't know about what you talk about. And I'm like, okay, you about to die. You be like, whatever, but can I get a better job though? Can I make some more money? Because that's what you're talking about. All this other health stuff and childhood stuff. I don't want to hear about that. Where my money at? Okay, so what advice do you have for this lady right here? Because this was a couple years ago. And one, thank you for sending this picture. Terry sent me a picture yesterday. I said, oh, y'all was raggedy, telling me that you're okay. Like, and we were on the phone, so I wasn't even looking at you.
No.
But I could hear.
You went to my LinkedIn. You saw some of the posts that I was posting and some of the things that I was saying, and then so you got a good idea of where I was.
So what advice do you have for this lady right here?
Oh, I would say just stop and rest. Stop. I know you think you got to keep going. I know you think that there's something else you need to do that's going to finally give you that validation or that's going to have you be recognized. But the answer here is to just stop. Just stop and rest.
All right, let me take you off because I'm getting sad looking at it. All right. So when you come into the experience, we have y'all meditate, work out, and get some sleep and affirmations. Like we have a lot of like small habits for y'all to do. Did you take on the habits or did you resist the habits? I can't remember.
Oh, well, you said I resisted them. I wasn't doing them correctly. So with the meditation, I did do that. With the affirmations, I wanted to remix it and have myself and my kids do it. And you're like, oh no, stop that. No. Because again, my inclination was, well, how can I use this to help someone else, right? So you could tell because I wasn't progressing the way that I should have been, because you have this fast track program where, most that do what you say, you can start to see that improvement. And with me, I think because maybe I was having all these other issues and I wasn't necessarily taking the illness, the depression, I wasn't necessarily still at that time taking it that seriously. So I went ahead and I would go through it, but then I would have my children there and that wasn't going to work. And so it wasn't until I got serious with it that I started to see a difference, actually. And it does make a difference. And that working out piece was hard because when you're depressed, you don't want to get up. You don't want to get out. You don't want to do anything. And so, I thought, well, I could get away with not doing it, but I knew that I had to do it in order to actually make that progress. And until I started doing all three every day, that's when it really started to see a difference.
So what's interesting did you know you were depressed or no?
I did. I knew because it was very bad.
Okay.
Because before that, I thought I could fix it myself. Because as a healthcare worker, I work with people with depression all the time. So I thought, well, I'm going to do my own self treatment, and so yeah, I wasn't asking for help. I was going to fix it myself. Because how do I look? Being a person that's helping other people with these conditions, not being able to help myself. So that's the mindset that I was coming with.
No,
So
that's
coming
good.
to the program made me realize that I had to stop and ask for help. The thing that is the hardest thing for me to do. And once I did that, I got the help that I needed, and I got into a treatment. Um, Combined with this program, it was really everything that I needed to come out of whatever funk I was in. It was like a fog that I couldn't quite get through.
That's good. It's interesting because when I was depressed, I didn't know until I wasn't anymore.
Oh, right. Wow. Yeah.
Right. Because once I came out of it, I'm always moving. So even when I left my career crazy, started a business, now I'm like on fire, crazier, mentally collapsed, couldn't talk for a year. I'm still going after it because now I'm like, if I could just get up, then I'm gonna teach somebody. And then I heard myself say, hey man, how about you fix yourself first? And then just be a model.
Yeah.
And so once I wasn't depressed, because if you in your brother's house in South Carolina, eating Cheez-It snack mix and Nutty Balls and drinking liquor on the couch and watching Lord of the Rings every day, clearly I'm depressed. No idea. What? What's the heck? Because it's like a 500-pound weight that's on your chest that we be like, oh, I need more coffee, or oh, I need more massages, or oh, I need better vitamins. It's like, no, that is spiritual weight. So once I work myself out of it with the stuff that I taught y'all to do, right? I look back, I was like, wait, I was depressed. Like, that was me. Wait, I was anxious. So there's a part in the program because this is a predictable process. It's like a recipe. I'm a baker, French trained 2 times, pastry chef, right? Classically trained baker, been baking since I was 6. I do recipes. So I know what y'all should look like in week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. I know what you should sound like. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all be talking. And who's your coach?
So I had to have 2. So
we're gonna talk about that. But who's your first one?
Oh man, I had I'm sorry.
Was it Celestine, Kathy, or Raquel?
I had Celestine, and at the tail end of it, I had
Raquel.
Raquel, exactly.
Yeah, I had to put you with somebody who could punch you in the stomach.
I needed both. Yes.
So it's like we know what you should look like and what you should sound like if you follow the recipe. So I come and do a check-in, you weren't looking like the cake batter that was mixed up. You still looking like raw eggs and flour, talking about I'm okay. Me and my kids gonna do it. And I'm like, man, if you don't take care of yourself. And so, one of the things that you said was, I was trying to save others. Mm-hmm. And I wrote, there's shame around a high achiever being in trouble.
Yeah.
When a successful person gets in trouble, we're so embarrassed. And there's so much shame. We try to fix ourselves. We ain't telling nobody. Mm-hmm. So by the time we realize we're in trouble, Regina, we're about 90% dead. By the time we figure it out, you'll be like, oh my God. Oh, exactly. I think I'm about to die. By the time we confess it, we 95% like about to die. So when you reached out, steal for money, you were about flatline. And that's when we asked for help. And so, thanks for sharing that, because asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of awareness. Mm-hmm. And I caution high achievers. And a part of why I do what I do and why, I'm grateful that you're sharing your story is that I just want to turn some light bulbs on in people's heads so they can see, because we don't see it until we hear somebody else. You'd be like, oh, wait, what? Right? Am I in trouble? So it's to give people a conscious interrupt of OSHIT. I probably need to do something because I'm right where she was. Okay, so you started to do the habits. Then you started to look at the childhood stuff. So talk about, you talked about your teacher. You talked about it. You held on to that. Because I remember you talking about that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I had to dig for that actually, because I was giving you some of the more recent things, and you're like, no, go back. And you actually, with your eagle eye, honed in and said, tell us your story when you first came, because you recognized my accent wasn't really fitting what you were expecting it to be. And you're like, wait a minute, there's some things going on here. Tell us about that. And I didn't want to talk about it. And I had to sit with it for 2 weeks and really just go back, open up that compartment and just sit with it. And I couldn't really figure it out. I didn't think there was anything wrong with my story of coming to the United States. I don't remember it. But then when I was forced to kind of go back and open up that compartment, I recognized that and I remembered that. And I thought, wow, that definitely would have been traumatic to young Regina. And that would have been something that hurt me deeply back then, because I always thought myself as studious. I was always studying. And so, I feel like that was sort of a pivotal moment that made me want to change myself as much as possible to avoid those types of effects. So I think that's why that moment for me is pivotal. And then, there was all the teasing and all of those kinds of things. But for me, I feel like that's just a natural part of growing up. And I don't think it was any different than what the other people were experiencing. But I feel like the being from somewhere else where no one even bothers to ask you, well, what language did you speak? And then really assuming they understand where you're coming from and not bothering to even know.
Before I'm not going to drag you publicly, but I'm going to, because I know you remember when I called you Valley Girl, right?
Yes.
But so let's talk about that. Then I'll go back. Because it took me a while to remember our conversation while we were on the phone. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait, you from Africa? Right? There's a difference if your parents came and you were born in the U.S. I was like, wait, no. How old were you when you moved to the U.S.?
7.
Okay. I was like, wait, so you from Africa? You don't have no accent or no twang or nothing? Ain't no way. That's how I started getting loud. Ain't no way. There's no way you were not harmed because your accent is gone. It's gone. And here's the thing, Regina. I had 2 clients from Jamaica, but one in particular, super duper 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 successful, who was my mentee in the Coast Guard for 15 years. I didn't even know she was from Jamaica. But this is why I could dig into you, because I've seen it.
Yeah.
And this 20 years later, because she became a client, and it's like she moved from Jamaica to Canada and got bullied so much that she didn't have an accent, but she talks really slow and she has like a thick talk. When she talks, it's because she's trying to suppress her accent. And I was like, wait a minute, does your daughter even know you from? I didn't know she was from Jamaica, and I had known for 20 years. And so for you, I knew, even if you weren't willing to admit to it, and when we're going through the sessions, if we can get you to the truth, because when you get to the truth shall set you free. But what the challenge that a lot of high achievers have is we don't have time because you got to dig for the truth. It don't take that long. It's like 8 weeks, but we don't have the time. And I want to read this to you because I got my book. So here's the thing about high achievers. So I'm using this, Regina, as your interview, but I also want to teach people while we're here. So indulge me. You were living what you thought was true, but it wasn't the full truth. So there are like 4 truths that were going on at the same time, right? So when we're busy and you're overwhelmed and we just don't have time to reflect because nobody's really going to take you back there and nobody cares. They're not going to ask, and we ain't going to do it because we ain't got time. You'd be like, what's the benefit of me talking about my childhood? Like, where my money at?
Exactly.
Where my money at though? Like, why I got to go dig around in my childhood? So we come to James Allen as a man. I think it's one of the greatest books of all time. James Allen said, let a man radically alter his thoughts and he will be astonished at the rapid transformation it will affect on the material conditions of his life. Men imagine that thoughts can be kept secret, but it cannot. It rapidly crystallizes into habit, and habit solidifies into circumstance. And so when I think about the crystallized thoughts of you adjusting to be a people pleaser but bad ASS, right? It creates the circumstances of success, but then there are also unintended consequences for those things. The long-term compound effect of that starts to make you resentful and you're tired and you have no idea why. So that's what we do. It's like, why are you tired? Why are you raggedy? You saw your picture. Should I bring it back up? Why are you raggedy? Looking at my face, telling me there's nothing wrong with you. Clearly. Clearly. So okay, so go ahead. So once you started to dig around, and after you resisted, but when you started to dig around, then like what started to change for you?
Well, once I started opening up all the different compartments that were all related to that immigration and that assimilation, I started to see how I morphed into someone that was a people pleaser, even though I don't think I was. I think I resented it, just like you said, because I think I still had my ego. There's still things that I wanted, but I had, kind of concocted myself into this thing. Right. So, and I thought no one could see it, but I feel like it got me to where I needed to get. But then once I hit that brick wall, it was the authenticity that I really needed to break through that, to be able to connect at that next level. People wanted to know about you, wanted to understand, where do you come from? Why are you the way you are? And because I had this story that I had narrated, this is the story I was telling, and it was true, like you said, but it wasn't the full picture. And that aspect that I had suppressed was actually the seed and the light that I needed. And so once I realized that, just being myself, being authentic, and being quirky, weird, and not fitting in, that was my superpower to get me through to the next level. And it was the superpower that allowed me to really tap into other people, where I could go anywhere that I go, I can tap into that culture, understand what they might be going through. And so that's what that's what I started to realize, that it was actually a superpower versus a hindrance or something I needed to hide.
That's so good. So let's talk about high achievers being masters at compartmentalization. Because you said it, compartments. We don't have time to unpack anything,
right?
Ever. So something happened, you be like, okay, you get hurt. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna shove it in here. I'm gonna unzip it, and I'm gonna put it in here, and I'm gonna zip it up, and I'm gonna put it on the shelf. Okay. And then, because that's how we're straight in survival mode. No idea, right? And something else happened, you'd be like, oh, that's fine. Is this gonna slow me down from winning? Sounds good. Let me put that in the box. I'm gonna unpack it one day. This is what we say, Regina. One day I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna get it. So I remember, being at my brother's house, is like opening up a closet, and all the skeletons that I had shoved in the closet for 40 years fell on top of me at 36 years. I was like, wait, what? Like we don't unpack anything. So I like how you're saying, once I open up that compartment, Okay, here we go. It's so good. This is a master class, y'all. This is a master class. James Allen said, because here's the thing. When I was broken and trying to put myself back together again, because I said, this can't be my life, right? I could have stayed and been somewhere, driving a used Honda, living in a 1-bedroom apartment. I was like, I'm supposed to be rich, like real rich, like richy, rich, like super duper rich. And you better put yourself back together again. So I had to start to build my life with new awareness. Mm-hmm. And I had to start to build my life with new foundation, because that foundation, like what it talks about in the Bible, when we build our house upon sand, a lot of us built our house upon sand, and the waves come wash it away. And we're trying to hold on, and we out there in the ocean drowning. So once you come into the awareness of who you are, then you build your house on the rock of the truth. Boop. So it's like, so now I have to start to build my house on the awareness of it was me. I did it. They may have played a part, but had I shown up differently, maybe it would have been different. So let's be ye transformed by the renewing of our minds. Right. Create in me, Lord, a clean heart, and renew a right spirit in me. So God clearly talked about renewal. Yeah. He must have known we was going to get messed up. So this is a principle that I started to live by. Mm-hmm. He says, James Allen, only by much searching and mining are gold and diamonds obtained, and man can find every truth connected with his being if he would dig deep into the mind of his soul. My God. So when we're talking about you and the compartments, we bury stuff at the bottom of the ocean, never to be seen again. And that works for you up to a certain point. Exactly. Then it starts to work against you once you've achieved the success that they say you couldn't get. Mm-hmm. Once you surpass the success, I think about we running the life marathon as a sprint. Right. We didn't broke through 26 marathon tapes, and we on to the next race talking about that there is no end line for us except for death. Yes. Unfortunately, like we oblivious, which is what I love why we do. I mean, like this, I'm waiting for these light bulbs to come on. We got to fight y'all, but whatever. So once you started to get some sleep, work out, do the affirmations, we had to drag you a little bit. Yeah. and you started to come into the awareness of like how great you were. What changed with how you saw yourself?
Well, you had us list all of our achievements, and some of us had a hard time getting started. And then once we kept going, we couldn't stop writing all of our achievements down. And then it was like, whoa, what? I did that, and I did that, and I did that. But I'm sitting here thinking I still need a different type of training. I still need that. Maybe there's something else that I need to move forward. And so once I started doing that, it made it so much easier for me to see who I was. And once I started seeing myself how I truly was, I feel like other people started also seeing it. So for me, that was doing that exercise helped to level set and help me to see all of the accomplishments and everything that I should have been proud of, that I should have been putting up when I interviewed, and not necessarily waiting for others to just see it. There's this feeling before where I thought, well, they can look and they can see it, so they should be able to put that picture together. But no, you have to say, you have to tell people what you've done, and you have to, show them that you know who you are, and that you know what value you actually hold, because then they will hold you to that same value, because now they know that you know. And so that's how I started showing up differently. And then things started to change in a way where I was doing less, but I was getting more. And it just happened. It seems a little too easy. I couldn't believe it sometimes. Because and I only did it because there was nowhere else to go. And then I did it. I'm like, wait, I could have done this 10 years ago.
So people see who you see.
Yeah.
And we're high achievers, phenomenal, brilliant. Already achieved everything, talking about I need more. And they don't want me here. and they harassing me. And it's like, yeah, that may be true, but
Yes.
a lot of times people are bullied at work because you're bullyable.
Yes.
Like you walking around acting like a victim.
Yes.
You know, I like to talk about animal kingdom tactics. It's like lions and lionesses don't like the wounded ones. Those are the ones that the hyenas attack. The hyenas don't typically attack the lion who's the strong one. They get the one that broke his leg.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So it's like once you take the scales off your eyes and see how great you are, you'll be like, wait, what the? I'm the greatest to ever do it. I can't believe it.
Yes.
Wait, I'm awesome already. I don't need a degree. Like, wait, why was I gonna get an MBA? It'd be like, man, hey man, I want all my money. So that's for us, that's the work. You'd be like, man, let's talk about this job later. When you about to die?
Yes. Pretty much. Yes.
How about we solve that first? And then it's like, you know, when we talk about tripling now triple 18 women's salaries, double 28, y'all get the money when y'all see how great you are. I'd be like this. So now do you see how great you are? You'd be like, oh, I'm gonna beat the brakes off this thing. And then you stop volunteering for all these projects to be seen.
Yeah.
You ain't doing that.
Woo, the volunteer work. Woo.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You gotta say about that?
Oh, that was me, and that was terrible. I volunteered for so many different things, thinking, well, this will show my leadership skills, and this will help me gain this and gain that. And honestly, the trade off wasn't worth it. And so part of going through this program was saying no, closing some of those doors, and then keeping the ones that I did like. The one other thing that I do now is I precept students, but I love that because it's actually beneficial to me as well, being around them, and that's really what I do and how I give back now. And usually, if I do want to do something, it's finite. It's something that I can do within a day, and I don't necessarily have to sacrifice all of my time to be able to give back to my community.
So the work is you can be successful and still be in pain.
Yeah.
So it's like once you be ye transformed, I'm gonna start by the renewing of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Then you shift from pain to passion. You just talked about it, right? And so it's like a lot of successful people are working to their detriment in pain. So you're just working for money.
Yeah.
And the money's not making you happy. And you have the house and the car and the kids and the, everything that people told you would make you happy, but you're holding on to things that are no longer serving you. And you're stuck in a completely oblivious and unconscious pattern of self-destruction.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you shifted into passion.
Mm-hmm.
How is your relationship with your family different now that you're happy?
Well, now that I'm happy, my children are emulating that. I remember one day you had me on, and they were just going at it, and and I attributed it to, well, they're just being kids, but it was really associated with some of the chaos that even if I was trying to hide it from them, they could probably see. So once I became calm, once I was healed and I was in control, they started emulating that naturally, and that is how that showed up for me and my family. My relationship with my husband got better, and we were able to do things a little bit more. He was noticing as well that I was moving a little bit differently, and he started asking about the program, asking me what did I do, and asking to know more. So I think that overall, just by me changing my mindset and by me, doing things based on my passion and understanding that I needed to go after, that it was okay for me to go after what it is that I wanted without feeling guilty and without feeling like I had to, maybe spread myself thin over here and over there in order to people please. Once I stopped doing that, it just helped me feel a lot better in my life. And I saw that within my family as well. So.
No, that's good, because a lot of times, one, all families are dysfunctional and crazy. Let's be clear, right? It's just great. But now you have an opportunity to raise your kids with an awareness and intentionality. Because if you're oblivious to how you're showing up, good, bad, or indifferent, I'm not judging it. Like you can't be held responsible for what you are unaware of, right? And burned out people are incapable of rational thought. I just be like, why? If I did anything to anybody between 2011 and 2012, I'm sorry.
Right.
Girl, I was like, "What? Hey, nobody should." And I'm giving advice. Nobody should have been listening to me.
Right.
I'm incapable of rational thought and had no idea until I got on the other side of it, looking back, talking about, "Hey, I'm sorry. Like I probably led you down the wrong path." Okay, now.
Right.
Because when I think about family, it's like, a lot of people who choose to work with us are the generational pattern breakers for their family. Like you came here to break generational patterns for your family. And so, you come into this human experience and, there are some things that happen, but then you swing the pendulum and then you create more cycles for your family. And it just may be different, right? But there's still something there. And now you're like, when you come back to yourself, like the prodigal son, when you come back to yourself, you can now start to be intentional and aware of, and we talk about self-awareness and emotional intelligence. And a lot of people, Regina, they know the word of self-awareness. It's so funny because people be telling me they self-aware. I be looking at them like this. you know what it means,
right?
Book word. But if you were self-aware, you would know how great you were. You would stand on the top of the mountain and say, "I'm the greatest to ever do it," and not flicker when you say it. That's self-awareness. And if you can't do that, you're not self-aware. But anyway, so all right, let's move on. What advice do you have for your East African sisters and brothers if they came into the US and they forgot how great they are?
Wow. So I would say you already have everything you need if you've made it here and if you've made it in a career, because you had to overcome so much just to be where you are. So you already naturally have it. And rather than feel badly about maybe what you haven't achieved before, maybe look into yourself and heal some of those wounds and try to navigate from that path instead of trying to, um, I know that there's a lot of stigma associated with admitting that you have a problem, especially mental health issues coming from East Africa. That's just unheard of. But if you are able to be honest with yourself at least and ask for help, there are people out there that this is their job, is to help you and get you through that process. And the sooner you get through it, the sooner you can return to yourself, and the sooner you can do all of those great things that you always wanted to do.
Great. All right. So after VFM, great. A couple years later, you ended up joining us a month ago in Advanced Office Politics, one of the greatest courses ever.
Yeah.
Past VFM. What was your experience like in that when you learned like the politics and the game? What was that experience like for you?
That experience was amazing because I was in a group of healed women and amazing accomplishments, different walks of life are amazing in their own right. And we were all there healed, and we were all able to talk about how do we navigate to that next level? What do we do next? And we shared ideas. We were able to really almost, identify things in each other very naturally and very easily. And we shared those ideas freely with one another. It was just like having that camaraderie that and that connection with a group of women, and just feeling naturally happy and naturally um, almost like being in the right setting with the right people by your side, that you can be honest with, that you can tell what your dreams are without feeling like you need to shrink yourself, that you can, open up and they can help you brainstorm what you need to do next. So that's what I got from advanced office politics, and I think it was very special.
Yeah, I think that, we put ourselves in rooms where we don't belong.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're the common one, or the one that people think that you're too much, you're in the wrong room. You need to go into the room. I like to be in rooms with people who make me feel like I ain't done nothing in my life.
Right. Exactly.
Like, God damn, I've done nothing, because now I know that I can, like, they're where I want to be.
Yeah.
So let's talk about you in this personality test, though. What did you learn about yourself with this personality test? You're so funny, but go ahead.
So yeah, I learned that I was a chameleon, and I was shrinking myself when I shouldn't be, and that was, yeah. If I had to just pull it into one word, that's what I would say.
Well,
And I was shrinking myself, and I was pretending to. So I do care, but I care, but I show up sometimes as someone. Um,
I'm gonna say it. Let me save you.
Go ahead and say it. Yes.
You thought you were nicer than you are.
Yes. Exactly. Yes. I trained myself to be nice, but I'm not that nice. And once I recognize that, life has been so much better.
I was like, no, you are not that nice. You were like, yes, I am. I was like, no, you are a-hole. And not in a bad way, right? It's like you have the people who are just super direct. People may think I'm an a-hole. You're like, I don't care. That's how I talk. Like, if I have to, like, but I also have to be aware of who I'm talking to. But if you can know the truth shall set you free. I know that when people start talking super nerdy stuff, when we think about, like, when I got something and I don't never read the directions, you'd be like, why would I read the directions? Let me put it together and see. And if it don't work, Regina, I won't use it. I refuse to read the directions. You be like, I refuse. It just don't work. Let me go get something that I can watch a video from and use. And so we had to go back and forth on that between you and the other lady who was like, I was like, no, like, and there's nothing wrong with being direct. Let's just call a spade, because then if you can see that, oh, I am more direct than I'm willing to own to, maybe that's why I rubbed Cheryl the wrong way. Because I thought I was being nice to Cheryl, and I realized that I probably maybe could have said that better, but it's like, once you own it, then you can adjust, but you can't adjust what you're not willing to admit to.
Exactly. Yeah, I was showing up as someone that was willing to do the work and sort of be the worker bee, where really I wanted to be a strategist. And so you have to be direct about that, because upfront, because otherwise they know you can do it, they see you can do it, and they think you're happy doing it. And then when you show up and say, I'm not really happy doing that, I really want to be over here at this table doing strategy, this is where I really shine. Then it's like, well, that's not what we expected you to be when we talked to you. We thought you were happy being of service and following directions and letting us tell you what to do and just doing it. Yeah, so.
So you were a worker bee, but you really a queen bee, an East African queen bee. Like, you weren't acting like a queen bee, being mad they treat you like a worker bee. You'd be like, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all know y'all looking at it. They're like, no, we're looking at a worker bee. You're like, are you sure?
Exactly.
So you went the world. There we go. So you went and told your husband that I said that you was direct. You remember that?
Oh yeah. He was like good.
Why did that confuse you? That's my why does the truth, like, here's the thing. I have no reason to, but I think the thing about it, Regina, is we're so high achievers who are prone to be perfectionism and perfect, and like we don't take feedback that well, and because a lot of people weaponize their feedback against us.
Yeah.
Right. Terrified to get feedback. Terrified. It's like the worst thing, because it's like, no, I'm holding myself together with duct tape like this.
Yeah.
Don't touch this duct tape, because if you pop it, then I got to figure out like what's going on. So when I say stuff to y'all, and luckily y'all can take it, I'm not trying to criticize you. I'm trying to like get you to own the truth. So you were resistant to that, but then but I don't care. I'm gonna say it anyway. And then once you start to think about it, because I like to say stuff to create mental arguments with y'all, so you can argue with yourself, and you be like, wait, dang, she right. So when you went and ask your husband, he ain't gonna say it and live. Are you crazy?
Right.
He said, yeah, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. He says, I like this program. Worth every penny. Worth every penny. We had spent so much money on other programs, other things, other this, that, and the other. Yeah. And this was the only one that was finally giving me the breakthrough. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate it, because I talked to, over the years, I've talked to thousands of women, and their husbands tell them no. And I just be like, does he know you about to die though? Right? Like, and I legit wonder if some of them are still alive.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think about it that much, but where would you be today if you didn't change something?
Oh, I probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I was almost flatlined. And there was no one to go to. That's the other thing. Right? And then so coming to VFM gave me a place to go. It was a sanctuary. So yeah.
The sanctuary for high achieving badass leaders who can't tell nobody they're in trouble. That's
It was that lighthouse. Yes.
I'm watching so many people just collapse. And I'm looking at them like, you have to do something. And I'm going to ask you just your final words. It's like, my goal with these interviews and with anything that I do, because we're transitioning as a company, but I'm still bringing my clients back, because I need y'all's story and I need these trauma defaults. And I didn't ask you, what was your trauma default? I'm going to have to
we talked about it. The trauma default of having to assimilate, going through the immigration process with my mom and coming here at a young age, not recognizing that there was a trauma associated with that.
No, we talked about your childhood. We didn't talk about your trauma default. So the trauma default is how you showed up as an adult, because you were attributing it to that trigger. What was your trigger point? Like do you remember or no? If you don't remember, it's fine. I have to we got to go dig it up. That's fine.
Yeah, we had to go all the way back to my childhood, because what I thought was my trauma default was just a result of that. It was really just not feeling like I belonged anywhere.
Yeah.
And having to manage, feeling like I had to manage everything on my own. Because when you're a child and you have a single parent that's navigating being in a new country, trying to get her life in order, and you have your own issues as a child that you can't, that are when you're looking at it, it's trivial in a way, but that need is still there, right? And then having to navigate that yourself as a child, it just creates this hard shell in a way, where you just think you have to solve every single problem by yourself, and not being able to be open to let other people in to help you resolve problems. And so I feel like that became my trauma default, feeling like I had to do everything alone.
Another one was whenever you're That was one.
Yes.
But your trauma default was when people didn't think that you were smart.
Oh, yeah.
Because that teacher put you back a grade.
She did.
Because she didn't think that you spoke good English, and you did. So when people don't think that you're smart, I just pulled up your LinkedIn profile because that's what I do. You got you got education, a certificate in nuclear pharmacy, what's a PharmD? What is that?
That's a doctor of pharmacy.
You got a doctorate degree in pharmacy. Then you went and got an MBA in healthcare finance.
Yes.
Right. Hold on. Hold on. A board certified nuclear pharmacist from Purdue, an accreditation council for medical affairs, a certified professional healthcare information management systems, and COVID-19 contact tracing certificate from Johns Hopkins. I mean, my God, right? So a part of your trauma default was if people don't think you smart, you go get another degree.
Yeah. I was in the process of trying to look for another degree program when I joined your program. So you saved me from yet.
So you were smart, but you had to keep proving it. That's what the problem was.
Pretty much.
Do you have enough? No. And then and where the certificates at? I know they're on your wall now. Where was they, in a box or something? Did you even hang them up?
I did. You made us dig them all up and hang them up. So we did.
You didn't have them. So you didn't have anything in front of you.
No, I didn't have anything in front of me. Mm-mm.
That you worked hard years on to show that you're smart. So you just keep going back to get more.
Yes.
From the best schools. Y'all ain't hit no scrub school in there. Purdue,
the best schools,
Johns Hopkins. So she's at the hardest schools to get into.
Yeah.
The best education.
Yep.
The highest degrees.
Yes.
And it wasn't enough. And you was looking for something else.
Yeah.
Okay. That was your trauma default. I had to think about it. I had to go, hey, ain't this the lady, the teacher? Because you held on to that teacher thing. You wouldn't let it go. I was let me go look up this lady's degrees. And here's the thing, Regina.
Yeah.
People, women, Black women especially, they was like, we don't know if we need to. Hey, man, y'all better stop getting these degrees, right? Like, just cut it out. Like, we don't know if we need more education. Stop. Just stop it. No more degrees. Just own how great you already are.
Yeah. And relax. Because when you're relaxed, other people feel relaxed around you. If you're high strung and just feeling like you have to do this and that and the other, that doesn't create a situation where people feel like they can connect with you and maybe want to work with you long term at the level where they might be. So once I started doing that, then I started pulling in the exact type of people that I wanted to pull in, and watching my career advance really towards where I wanted to go. And now that I have my consultancy and I'm also doing a startup, I'm able to fund my startup with my consultancy work, and I can leverage all the skills that I built over the years. I mean, I've worked at all the major organizations at this point, so I have a really good understanding of it. But owning it and knowing that I am that good and I need to present this way when I show up and do those interviews, that has helped me to advance further than I could have had I not honed in on really who I was,
So the culmination of what happened in the past couple of years, which let some people tell it have been the tougher years. I'd be like, this tough for you because y'all didn't change like that. and somebody inboxed me yesterday, like, everything that's going on, we struggling. I said, we ain't struggling. You struggling. Right. I interview my clients. I bring y'all people every week to show y'all everybody's not going through it. Just people who are just stuck in the same habits. So let me get off that. But it's like the culmination of you now owning how great you are. My God. Miracle signs and wonders. Mm-hmm. You becoming aware of, I'm good enough today.
Yeah.
You becoming aware of, I don't need no more degrees.
No.
God damn. And relaxing and loving yourself and saying, wait, I'm the greatest boop to ever walk this planet. When you walk in the room, people be like, welcome?
Yes.
Or do they get mad that you great? Which one is it?
Oh, they're welcoming now because they recognize, oh, you can help me solve my problem. I can see that.
I tell people that all the time. I be like, man, they want you on their team. They don't want you if you thirsty, or if you're trying to get them to make you, feel welcomed. It's not their job.
Right.
Relax and be like, I'm the greatest. And they be like, great.
Yeah.
Are you ready? And you be like, pay me all.
Exactly. Exactly.
All my money.
Yes. Yes. No questions asked. Okay. That's reasonable.
All right, y'all. Well, I hope that y'all have enjoyed this and that it landed for somebody out here in these streets, because 1, is not as hard as y'all are making it. 2, you deserve everything that's waiting for you. 3, if Regina could do it, my God, you can do it. Y'all got everything.
Absolutely.
And 4, don't fight the truth, because the truth shall set you free. And 5, Regina, thank you so much for working with us and not flatlining. And thank your husband for supporting you and staying with you while you was over there looking ragged.
Right? I know.
All right.